Thanks so much for joining us tonight. It's 11 o'clock. We've had catastrophic flooding, as you know, here in Indiana this month. And we know the water has to go somewhere, right? A lot of it is flowing back into rivers, seeping into the ground, or evaporating. But sometimes that water draws its own map. And that's what we're seeing in Carmel. Tonight, Alex Almanza spoke to city leaders. So, Alex, how is this river reorganization influencing next steps?
Because the water carved a new path through the area, Carmel leaders say they can't necessarily rebuild it the way it was. Now leaders are deciding where the creek should flow, how to rebuild Hazeldell, and then how to empty the quarry safely.
Find a cool rock, pick it up.
2 weeks ago, Blue Woods Creek ran through here. Now there's a canyon.
It found a low level that was 250 feet deep and could hold 9 billion gallons of water. That's a game changer.
The rush exposed water, fiber, and power lines and left this bridge unusable. At one point, erosion moved more than 200 feet overnight. Crews built emergency dams to slow it down and protect 2 sewage force mains. Now the focus is shifting from emergency response to rebuilding.
When the plan is in place, there will be large pumps, probably sitting on a barge in the middle of that quarry, and big pipes that will pump that water out. We're fortunate with the bridge being out, we can just run those pipes over Hazeldell.
And while crews work on the landscape,
Hey, thank you very much.
a few miles away, volunteers are working on the human side of recovery. Volunteers are collecting food, household supplies, and money for flood victims. The donations will go through the Hamilton County Harvest Food Bank and Hamilton County Community Foundation.
You see people from all walks of life just wanting to help, and they bring a little bit or they bring a whole truckload.
Dennis McClintock knows how much that help is needed. He spent much of the day cleaning out a flooded home.
It was just gut-wrenching seeing them throw some of the stuff from their house out, and we put it in a pile in front of the house.
From rebuilding roads and pipes to helping families rebuild their lives, Carmel's recovery is now entering its next phase. Carmel officials say they're working with Martin Marietta and state agencies on how to pump that quarry water back toward the White River without creating another erosion problem or affecting water quality.
Alex, thanks so much. Hamilton County just extended its local disaster declaration for another 7 days. So this means it's in effect through September 3rd. This will allow emergency management and other county departments to continue coordinating the flooding response and recovery. Commissioners have lifted the White River travel ban. You remember they issued it back on August 18th because of contamination and debris, but they tell us recent inspections and testing show significant improvements. Hamilton County is among those approved tonight for individual assistance through FEMA. It's been 2 weeks now since those floodwaters arrived. People are now starting to figure out what this rebuild will cost and how much time it's going to take. But here's what we do know tonight. 13,000 people have already applied for that federal aid. People have until October 25th to submit an application. So expect that number to grow. And remember, federal assistance is separate from state relief, so apply for both. But if you have insurance, file that claim first.
The FEMA grant can make the resident, the home, secure and safe, but it will never be as robust as full insurance coverage. And we know that's sometimes a challenge.
There is not an exact timeline to get these applications processed and the money distributed. The goal tonight is to be as quick as possible. And if you need any help applying for this assistance, FEMA and the Indiana Department of Homeland Security will make the rounds to help you out. In fact, they're going to be at the Broad Ripple Park Family Center both tomorrow and Saturday. You can stop by from 8 in the morning until 6 at night. You do not need an appointment. Teams will also be in Delaware County. They'll be at the EMS Station 3 tomorrow from 8 until 6, then Saturday from 10 to 6. Well, this Hoosier spirit has been on display since the flooding hit. We've seen neighbors helping neighbors in multiple ways, big and small. Tomorrow, there are a couple of opportunities to help our friends in Broad Ripple. Indigo is spearheading the Stuff a Bus relief drive. You can drop off donations at the bus that's parked along Broad Ripple Avenue near College. That's from 5 until 7 tomorrow night. Then the mission turns to music with a flood relief benefit concert that takes place at the Vogue. Doors open at 7. The concert begins at 8. Tickets are $10 with all the money going toward recovery efforts. And coming up this weekend, a Flood Resource Connection Day right here in Indianapolis. Saturday, people can head to Riverwood Park in the hard-hit Ravenswood neighborhood. You can meet directly with city and county agencies helping lead this flooding response. Plus, you can grab a hot meal. That's from 11 until 2. Certainly, there are so many of these events, whether you're looking to help or looking for help. So we've got it all posted for you online. Just head to WTHR.com/flooding. Weekend's almost here, Angela.
The weekend is almost here. Friday on the doorstep for sure, Scott. We have good news from the weather department. We move into another dry weather pattern for several days. In fact, rain chances at 0 through the early part of next week. We get some much needed time to continue to dry out. Forecast for our Friday, 61 degrees at 7 a.m. We'll be well into the upper 70s with some sunshine at noon. Highs tomorrow in the low 80s. It's going to be warm, but it's also going to be comfortable. That muggy meter down a little bit during the day tomorrow. Operation Football Week 2 tomorrow night. Clear and pleasant with kickoff temperatures in the upper 70s.
All right, Angela, thanks so much. Tonight, crews were going door to door in Anderson, helping neighbors sign up for the Anderson Emergency Flood Assistance Program. Our Logan Gay talked with neighbors tonight about how they're holding up 2 weeks after the flood.
Floodwaters might be gone, but Anderson residents say the disaster is not over. The reminder of how high the water was is all around them.
This is stuff you see on TV, not in your own yard, you know. And it's just heartbreaking the first few days driving down through here and seeing everybody's whole life at the end of the street.
2 weeks after the flood, Penny Idlewine and her family are displaced from their home and come back to it daily to continue to drain it and salvage whatever they can. They're one of the families who say they've lost pretty much everything in this flood. Parts of their house gone.
It's completely gutted on the top levels, completely gutted, and they took our meter and our gas and everything.
A neighbor swam through the floodwaters to rescue her family member's ashes, and she says for her, that's enough.
I was beside myself because I just could not imagine my father's ashes in nasty, dirty water. It's amazing how people pull together and they set their own needs aside to help other people.
Just doors down from Penny, Charles Sills says his story is similar. He lost everything, but was still able to save what was most important to him.
Just my dad and my baby's ashes, that's all. Everything, we lost everything else.
He's also focused on rebuilding, spending the days cutting out drywall and floors. He says it could take months, even a year, before he gets back into his home.
We've got to completely gut it 5 feet up off from the floor level, and then rewire it, re-insulate it, resheet it, mud it, new flooring.
On top of state and federal assistance, the city of Anderson set up a $600,000 fund. Thursday, the city launched its emergency assistance program, going door to door to help people apply and set up a place for residents to stop by and sign up. Penny and Charles both signed up, and Penny says she's thankful to see the city jumping into action.
I was feeling really hopeless, you know, like what are we going to do? But now a couple weeks has passed, and now everything's starting to kind of pull together, all this help that they were trying to organize. But I thought the city did very well.
Even though the work looks overwhelming, both neighbors say their hearts are full of hope and gratitude as they work to rebuild from this chapter. In Anderson, Logan Gay, 13 News.
Tonight, police tell us an Indiana man is dead after playing Russian roulette. They call it an accidental shooting, but the 19-year-old's mom says that's not enough.
I have a lot of questions, and I don't have a lot of answers now.
Police in Logansport found Kason Schmidt. He was shot inside of a home off High Street August 15th. Police tell us Schmidt was with 5 others when the gun went off. The others ran. We're told no one called 911 or even stayed to give medical aid. Schmidt's mom, Chelsea Summers, tells us that police did not run toxicology or gunpowder residue tests. She told us those tests could be the key to those questions that she wants answered.
They didn't give him a voice when they could have by running the test like that. That's what's bothered me. I don't get to mourn him right now because I have to find it. Like, I have to honor him by making sure that his story is told.
Now, we did ask police in Logansport whether detectives conducted gunshot residue or toxicology testing. They told us the shooting remains under investigation tonight. Officers also added they hope to give Summers more clarity once that investigation has closed.